down. When you walking past me, badass. Damn, I hope she nasty. Slim thick, and she got a fatty. Turn around, yeah, let me look at it. Slow it down. When you walking past me, badass. Damn, I hope she nasty. Slim thick.
What's good, everybody? I'm Josiah, the Prince, producer, artist, engineer based in Wisconsin, and you're now tuned into the Journey Podcast, where we strive to inspire the future generation of young entrepreneurs, creatives, and business owners. Make sure you tune into the Journey Podcast on Fridays at 7 p.m., where we have some amazing guests ranging from directors, record label owners, reality TV stars, actors, and so much more. Make sure you tap in, all right? And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, all right? All right. Once again, I'd like to say thank you again for being on my podcast today.
What's good? Not a problem.
All right. Today we have an amazing producer, DJ, business owner, everything all around. Great guy, DJ Chase.
Yeah, what's good?
Yes, sir. For the people who don't know who you are, can you tell our viewers who DJ Chase is?
DJ Chase is a simple man, a God-fearing man with a plan. That's pretty much it. But I born and raised in New York City, Harlem and the Bronx, between both places, Harlem and the Bronx, more Harlem than the Bronx. A producer, recording engineer, DJ, label owner, music publisher, all that wrapped into one, podcaster, beat maker. I does it all, unfortunately. So, pretty much that's really it. Just a man of God, just a man of helping others, try to do more for others than I should do for myself. Just represent New York to the fullest and music to the fullest and try to make music from the heart,
Already. So how long have you been the all-around great man that you are? DJ, producer, everything that you do.
I've been DJing since I was a kid. So I got my first turntables in 1989. My father bought it for me for Christmas. And then I actually originally wanted to be a stockbroker. Excuse me. I wanted to be a stockbroker. Yeah. So, my parents couldn't really afford college like that. So, I had to just kind of make a transition and say, okay, do I stay with the music? Or, I had that as an out because I was already doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, in them days, you just do like little parties and house parties for your family and stuff. And then I had to make a choice when I got to college. It was like either learn this trade or go back looking stupid. So, the school that I went to SUNY Oswego, because I was at the transition when music started becoming more digital, when studios started becoming more digital.
Okay.
So I was I started like in 2004 when I went to Cascades in high school, and I was doing like garage band, and I got so good at it. I used to teach production in high school. Actually, my teacher just let me teach it in high school. Pretty cool. Then I went to SUNY Oswego, and then I just took it to the new heights. The man I became in SUNY Oswego, upstate New York. So, I had this teacher, this mentor named Dan Wood, and he kind of taught me a lot of stuff, like, a lot of jewels, and he used to like have one-on-one with me. This was back in 2005. So, it really became, it was, like I said, it was either that or just not learn something, because I knew I couldn't afford to stay in college. So I had to just learn a trade and then take it to another level. So that's pretty much it,
Gotcha. Who or what inspired you to get into the music industry and become a DJ?
My dad, I would say, actually, I say both my parents, more or less. You know what I'm saying? My mom, rest her soul, she let me kind of just do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I used to blast my music in my room. And my dad, he was like the Zulu Nation and Africa Bambaataa. He was like, I saw that growing up. So he used to be around that a lot. You know what I'm saying? He used to teach me a lot of like little things. He used to make me remember samples. So like he played a sample and like, oh, what's the name of this song? Or like, that type of stuff. So music was always in me. My grandfather, who I'm named after, he used to own clubs and stuff like that. So it was probably just natural that I was going to do it. I just took it a little bit further than, my forefathers before me,
Okay. Do you remember when you got your first set of turntables? If so, how old were you and how long did it take before you got your first live show?
Not long actually. I see. Like I said, I'm 35, but I've been doing it so long. So it's like I got my first turntables. I got in '99 for Christmas, and then I was 12, and then because it was just these horrible Gemini XL 100s. They were just terrible, but I made them work. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
then it started transitioning to the CDJs and stuff like that. So I was like, lurking and working and working and working it. You feel me? So until on top of being a teenager and everything else. So, but I always stuck with it. You know what I'm saying? So I used to bought a tape deck because I just wanted to try to figure out how to get in the studio. Because back in them days, studio was expensive as I don't know what. So
Definitely.
you a little kid. My friends would tell you, they'd be like, "Yo, you was always doing it." I always was like, "Yo, buy some equipment, invest in stuff." I was always talking about that years ago because my aunt, she was a finance major, so she used to teach me about like Rich Dad Poor Dad back in like 1997. So I knew about that. I knew about like black owned business like really really early. So I kind of just took it from there. And my first gig came. The reason I said it like that is because my first gig actually was before I got my turntable. It was a house party that my cousin had, and I don't know where this was. I think it was at Queens or something like that. It was my god sister. It was like a tape deck, and it was like the 1996. I'd say my first gig was.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. You're pretty young too. That's pretty cool that you was doing it.
And I'm gonna tell you how it happened though. My father, he was supposed to be the one to provide the music. He got drunk and left me there. So they looking at me. so that's how it happened. I never told this story, but he got drunk and left, and I was like maybe like 8 years old. And everybody's like, "Yo, why don't you play it out?" So I queued up the tape deck, and it was like "Killing Me Softly," and then it was like everybody was singing the hell out the song, and that was like the first time I ever DJ. That's when I knew I had a DJ, kind of,
Gotcha. At least she was able to save the party at such a young age.
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy because I don't know. It was weird. Like I just like played it, and I happened to cue. I was so nervous because it was a tape deck, so you can't press it. You know what I'm saying? But luckily, God was with me that day because he made it like cue right there, and it was Killing Me Softly, and everybody, all the girls was singing it. Lauryn Hill. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, but like I said, my father had got up and left. He was supposed to be doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the jam right there. Killing Me Softly. You can never go wrong with that song. Anyway.
Yeah. So imagine when it first came out. You feel me? So that it sounded crazy back then. Yeah.
Right. With your gifts, you've been able to do live shows, go on tours, and even take over the radio airwaves. Yeah. At what point did you start producing music when it came to the DJing?
Oh man. Shoot. Whew. Let me see. I would say because I would say I'm more or less engineer, but I was always a hybrid though. I was always a hybrid producer. So I would say when me and my friends would make a tape and tape decks, this was probably I got my tape deck so I'd say 2000 when I was like 13 years. But as far as formal production, I would say 2004.
Okay. What kind of software or hardware were you using at that point in time?
When we first started, it was the CDs. It was we had to plug in the tape deck and stuff like that. And then when I first started, it was I was always on Pro Tools early. Like I had started on the 01V. I was kind of spoiled because the school studio was huge. So I did the 01V with the light pipe. Don't even make that no more. It sounds way better. I don't know why they don't make it no more, but it sounds way, way better than like anything that this is today. Like it sounds, it's much better, much better. I started on an 01V mixing board, and then I started in 2005, and I was starting on Pro Tools. And then my mentor wanted me to learn Cubase, but Cubase was just the worst. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna just stick with Pro Tools,
Gotcha. I, in particular, like to use FL Studio. Pro Tools is decent for me, but FL Studio is my go-to.
Nah, trust me, you know what it is? Pro Tools is just like, it's just the sound of it. It's the sonics of it. Like FL Studios is really distorted. So that's why I think sometimes like a lot of guys like, the trap sound, it works for that because it's meant to be distorted. But when you're going for like clear and quality, like there's nothing better than Pro Tools by far.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing by far, yeah.
Bet. All right. So at this point in our interview, we like to give a spotlight to a creative in the community. So right now we're going to take an opportunity for the spotlight to shine. All right.
Yeah.
All right. What's good, everybody? I'm Josiah the Prince, producer, artist, engineer based in Wisconsin. And right now, I need you to go check out Habits 365. Habits 365 is a clothing company. They have all sorts of amazing items such as this Habits 365 exclamation tee. Make sure y'all tap in with them. They have clothing items for men and for the ladies as well. So make sure you tap in. They have t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, jackets, whatever you may desire. So don't forget to wear your habits, alright? And make sure you check out my album, Secrets, available on all streaming platforms.
Slow it down when you walking past me. Badass, damn, I hope she nasty. Slim thick, and she got a fatty. Turn around.
Alrighty, y'all. That was our creative. That was an amazing creative in our community. Make sure you tap in with them. Now we're going to get back to the interview with DJ Chase. We were just talking about his music production career and all the DJing, amazing DJing that he's been doing, such as taking over the radio airwaves, taking over New York, producing for amazing artists and himself. So
for sure. Yeah.
So you've been producing for a new up and coming artist, Molly McCoy. Can you tell us a little about the music you worked on with her?
Yeah, she's dope. She's talented. She's Molly McCoy. So pretty much we started back in 2000 and no, she's always been around. I say 2015, and she would my other friend. She used to be with him all the time. My homeboy Chris, and then they would just always be around. So she was in a group with, she was already doing her thing already, at the time. So I wasn't really looking for other artists, and she was just literally always in my house. So I'm like, why is she always here? So, I'm like, Joe, just come rap, come do what you do. You know what I'm saying? I have the business mind. I was already on tour in college, you know what I'm saying? So I could, groom you in a way, you know what I'm saying? So, she, and at the time, I didn't make beats at the time like the way I do now. So around like 2017, I started making more beats, like more consistent beats when I bought my machine, and she just was around and she just wrote it out. You know what I'm saying? To make a long story short, like everybody else kind of fell off or kind of didn't want to work or just got lazy or lollygagging, and she bit. So when I'm making the beats, I'm like, yo, I got the studio here. Like I never charge you for studio time. I never charge you for beats. Just rap on it, and we'll take it from there. And then I just started developing a sound with her, so, just pretty much that's just as simple as it is, you know what I'm saying? She just kind of fits the records she makes the records that I want to make.
Gotcha. Yeah, it sounds like every producer has that similar story. They get that one person or that group that they end up working with, and they just stick around and have been around for a long time. Like in particular, I work with an artist named C3 the Prince. He's been here since the beginning of how my production started. And when I started engineering, started recording his music, put out singles for him at the same time. We've been going since then.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing with Molly, like, I was like really it kind of ran into this course because, excuse me, I started like kind of like cross managing her and stuff like that. So I would give her a lot of game. We would go to like a lot of networking events and stuff like that. And I never wanted to have a label. Like I never thought. I mean, I just had a name. Like it was just a production company more or less. It wasn't really like a label. And then I would go to all these networking events and stuff with her to these labels. These labels and these different companies and stuff like that. So I started looking and learning. I'm like, I could do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really that hard unless you have to have the money, of course, but like the actual basis of it is not that hard to do. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is. You have an artist. So with digital streaming, it's digital streaming is just the greatest thing ever created for music. Like, and I was always the advocate of that. You feel me? So I was always the advocate of that because even when I first started, I used to tell all the people I used to, like my early days when I first was grinding and sacrificing and fighting and putting in work and people trying to stop my career. I really just I really was fighting for the digital streaming platforms. Like I was like the first person ever on Spotify, like long years ago. Man, I was on Spotify back in like 2010. So
yeah, that's pretty dope. Dope. I don't think I released that early. Let me see. The first release I did, I think was 2017. That was the first digital streaming release that I had. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. That's the
Yeah,
best thing I know that's happened for artists.
exactly. And
Pretty
you know
dope.
this because I was like the OD hacker back in the day. So like we knew like the old heights like realist niggas and the old torrent sites and all that. I was on it early, so I knew about street because I always kept trying because I used to have to send files all the time. So I'm telling people like, yo, the format is going to be the wave of the future. I kept saying that over and over again. I'm like, once you just figure out how to market it, it's over. Once they figure out how to really market it and stuff like that, I would just tell people all the time, like Audio Mac. I was on Audio Mac years ago. Years ago. Mhm,
Mm. Okay.
mhm,
Okay. When did Worldwide Sound Records and DJ Chase Publishing, excuse me,
mhm.
come into play? And can you tell people a little more about them as well?
Yeah, Worldwide Sounds Records was it was a DJ crew at first, so I kept the name. Me and my homeboy DJ A Hop started it back in 2007 actually, because I had a riff with the guy I was working with before. So I was like, you know what, I want to do my own thing. And if you the reason why I had sounds in it, because I don't know if you remember back in those days, it was like sound crews, like reggae sound crews. So we was all like Caution Sounds, Worldwide Sounds. It came from a DJ. It came from being DJ crew. That's where it originally came from. So I just kept
Gotcha.
the name. So I just kept the name. So I was like, all right, just kept it. I had put so much like time and sacrifice into it. So I'm like, yo, I know it's a long name. I just kept the name. I just kept it. It was literally just be keeping the name. I was like, I just kept it. You know what I'm saying? So
I
I was like,
agree.
just yeah, I was like, I might as well just keep it. So even this year, I probably did change it this year. I haven't decided yet, but I just put so much into it. And then when me going to the music events with Molly, when I started really diving into what a record label actually is, a record label actually is just a publishing company that markets music, as opposed
Right.
to just paying. The publishing company collects the money, the record label markets the music and creates and markets the music. Excuse me. So what I did was I separated the two, and I said, okay, for business purposes, I just separated the two. So, excuse me. DJ Chase Publishing came in 2019. I incorporated it in 2019, and then I just took it from there. So I've really been doing it like the last 2 years. So if you see the last 3 years, excuse me. So if you see a lot of stuff that I do is real more geared toward the publishing. So even like this year, I started DJ Chase Radio as a offshoot to how should I say, like, to centralize our music releases. So that was another marketing part of DJ Chase Publishing.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Who are who are your top five favorite industry artists and top three favorite local artists? Like, who are you spinning? Like, who are your favorite artists to spin to this day, indie and mainstream?
All right. So you said my top three in my top three mainstream artists.
Top five in mainstream and
Mhm.
top three independent. Excuse me.
Okay, do all my personal favorites or who I spin?
Your personal favorites.
My personal favorite. All right. So my number one is let me see. My number one, I say my personal, and no particular order because it depends on the day. I listen to a lot of like weird music. I say now my number one is Benny the Butcher. Um, Number two, I would say Tupac. Number three, Dr. Dre. Number four, The Baby. And number five, I would say Outkast. Yeah.
Outcast.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I listen to a lot of it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And the top three independent artists that like to
Independent.
area.
Nobody's really independent these days, but I say Molly McCoy, myself, and let me see, who else do I listen to? Hmm. No, I'm going to my playlist. I got my playlist because I listen to a hella independent artists. So I'm as terrible that I'm sitting here and I can't figure it out. I listen to a lot of independent music.
It's all good. It's
I
all
listen to a
good.
lot of independent. I barely even listen to mainstream music.
Right.
Let me see. Who am I bumping right now? Like I said, Molly McCoy, myself, and I would say I'm not gonna keep it too much longer.
Oh, you good. You good.
Uh,
Take it.
guy by the name of Jux Diamonds. That's all I listen to. That's what I'm rocking with.
Okay. Bet.
Mm.
Bet. So as creatives, we go through a lot of ups and downs.
Mhm.
What drives you to keep doing what you do?
Now that question right there, big fella, is a good one because I've been through it all. So let me see. What keeps me going, I would say God. Simply put, it just is no other. I can't explain myself out of that one. It's just God keeps me going, bro.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That definitely helps inspire and keeps us going. We all have our own.
Yeah.
So, definitely. If you could go back in time and speak to the younger version of you,
Hmm.
back before you started in your creative endeavors, what
Yeah.
advice would you give yourself?
Don't help no one. Like seriously, like focus on yourself. Don't help no one. That's
Yeah,
the number one piece of thing I would say. Like see it before it happens, and don't help no one.
gotcha. That definitely makes a
Stay to
lot of
yourself. Yeah.
definitely.
If I would to literally tell myself that, I would tell myself, don't do it. Don't help nobody. Focus on yourself.
Right. Right. There's
Mm,
nothing wrong with that. You can't help nobody if you can't help yourself in the first place. So it
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Definitely.
like even today in church, pastor said something that made a lot of sense. He said, "Be careful be careful how you entertain strangers." And I never thought about that till now. I mean, I knew about it, but it really hit home. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely would have never helped anybody in my life.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Mm.
So what's coming up for DJ Chase?
Right now, I got a couple of singles in the stash. I'm gonna probably just put out some singles. I got I got my own music I'm working on. I started working on the album. I'm working on Molly's album. So whenever that gets done, uh, I'm working on my personal album called The Mailman. So it's just like just a fun record of just me rapping and just talking whatever I want to talk. I got a song with this kid named this girl named Mrs. JP. I got a record with her coming out. She's from the Bronx. I have a song with a kid from where's he from? I forgot where's he from. I think he's from Ireland. I think he's from. I have a
Huh.
song with him. And I have a song with a kid from Chicago called Boom Bow, like a remix. Oh, I put the original version out, and the remix is coming out. I just got the Ryan show, this big show on my radio station, so I have that coming up. And just more of the same. So pretty much, I'm actually going to be in a movie that's coming out in December. So I'm doing that, but I can't really speak too much on it. But it's coming out in December, so I'm actually in a movie. So that's pretty dope. So
That's dope.
mhm.
Congrats. Congrats, man.
Yeah,
That make sure you send me the links to the music you just mentioned as well, and the artists that you're talking about as well. Definitely send them to my
gotcha,
email. Send them to my email.
gotcha,
And the
gotcha.
artists that you work with in particular, send their music to my email as well, so I
Mhm.
can add them to my radio station as well, the Elite FM radio.
Yeah, I
So
gotta send you some drops too, bro. Like I gotta send you some
yeah,
drops. Like I
definitely
got you. So
send it
send me,
on.
yeah, send me your scripts. Like I know Milwaukee. Who you got out there? Cool Cal still rapping out there? What's up? Like
I don't know if Google Cow's still going, but yeah,
nah, nah, yeah, Milwaukee. It's crazy. I done been everywhere. I have not been to the West Coast. I've been to Chicago one time, and then that was pretty much it. Like my wife was out there in college, and then but I never been to the Midwest. I had to come out there. Like I feel crazy. Like I've been all over the world, but not the Midwest yet.
okay. Definitely
Mm,
come out to Milwaukee, and you could definitely bring you come out to Racine and
mm,
take over for a little bit. Hop in the
yeah,
showcase or something. Spin for us for a while. You know what
I
I'm
come
saying?
out there. I come out there.
They
I
give
don't
us
think
some.
I don't think the flights ain't that expensive. It's the winter time now, so I damn sure ain't coming out there. But
Oh yeah, no.
I definitely come out the summertime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely summertime. Snow gonna be wild. It's already starting to get cold now anyway, so I
exactly.
wouldn't
I'm not
advise
doing that. Yeah. Yeah,
it.
what you call it too? Send me any music you got from me, send it to me. I put it on the radio. That's what I'm sitting here doing right now. I'm sitting here getting a radio schedule and stuff like that. So I have, couple things I'm working on. So I
Yeah.
go.
Bet. I
Mm,
definitely have them right to your email myself, C3 the Prince, Shalant, the people that I work with, Inferno Music Group. I'll send you some samples of their music as well, so you can go ahead and pick and choose what you want. Definitely.
yeah, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure. Nah, I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it, bro. And then like I said, it's just about connecting. I think sometimes people really don't understand how it is like connecting with people. It's
Right,
like you want to connect with people that do the same like-minded individuals, like you don't
right,
want to connect with people who have negative energy. And I try when I do interviews, because sometimes is I'm always the one doing interviewing, so sometimes when people ask me questions, I try to use it as a therapy session to because I always look at it as I'm a role model, so people look up to me, and there's kids out there that there's a DJ Chase out there somewhere, so I try to be responsible with that.
right. That's the whole point of these interviews, to definitely help inspire our next generation. They don't really talk about how you can become the creative, They always talk about how we can go into the regular working world. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
It to me, but
Mhm.
DJing, being a recording artist, being an actor, those type of things aren't really talked about, and how you can get into those type of fields.
Yeah.
And I want us to be able to shed the light on those type of things.
Yeah, and that's the thing with me too. I'm really big on education because one thing that I think people fail to realize is that once again, I've been in this business since I was 18 years old. I'm 35, so I've seen so much change. I've seen so much, I guess, like issues in the music business. So a lot of times that the reason why a lot of people and artists, especially black people, have the issues they have is because they really fully do not understand how important it is to own your stuff in a sense that you don't want people to manipulate it and take it the wrong way. So say somebody that's why we have the problems we have now because your creativity, your culture, your skin tone, your melanin, your voice is being exploited for $1 and they're erasing you. So
Right.
they're doing it on purpose. They're not even hiding it. They used to be hide it, but now they're not even hiding it no more. So you have to be very responsible for what you do and what you sign away. You know what I'm saying? Or just even who you work with, just in a sense. Like I don't have no problem signing contracts, but make sure that you understand what you're signing.
Right. Right. Gems. Definitely
Mm.
make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing. Make sure you own your everything that you're doing. Value yourself.
Yeah, for
Value
sure.
yourself. Value yourself. That's the most important
Yeah.
thing out of all.
And I tell artists and I tell people all the time, it's not really owning it. It is owning, but it's in the sense of owning yourself. So even like with these contracts, sometimes they'll tell you, "Oh, get these tattoos," or "We gonna put your song in a horror movie," or you know what I'm saying. You got to be really, really careful about that stuff. So even working with you, say I work with Josiah the Prince, I'm like, okay, I want to do a record with you. I don't really personally care about owning it, but I just say, just make sure you do right by it. You feel me? Or make sure you do what you're gonna say. You know what I'm saying? I know that you got to be a judge of character. You got to be a judge of that synergy because you still got to have synergy to make great music, but you still want to be cautious of who you selling it to, or who you auctioning yourself or who you valuing yourself to.
Right. Right.
Mm.
So nothing but gems from DJ Chase, y'all. Definitely make sure you tap in with DJ Chase. Make sure if you're in the New York area or you just so happen to be popping out for some fun, tap in with him. If you need him for an event, you need production, any type of work from this amazing gentleman, make sure you tap in with him. Can you tell our viewers where they can find you and how they can get in touch with you?
I'm very, very simple. You can find me on my website. I'm old school, so not old school. I'm very professional because it bypasses the BS. So go to djchase.net. Hit me on Instagram or Facebook. Instagram _ DJ Chase _ and Facebook DA Real DJ Chase. Twitter at DJ Chase. DJChaseRadio.com. You can find me there. The music, the radio station, everything. DJChase.net. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you tap in with DJ Chase. This is the Journey Project podcast. Make sure you tap in with us on Fridays at 7 p.m. You can also hear these interviews on the Elite FM radio where we play the hottest music, and DJ Chase plays the hottest music all the way in New York and worldwide.
Let's get it. You get it. You feel it. You feel it. You feel it.
Already.
And I want to say thank you to you too before I get out of here. Like, thank you for having me. I know, sometimes people are ungrateful. So I try to, I'm very grateful and I'm very honored to be on your platform. So thank you very much.
Oh, it's all love. It's all love. You're a positive light in the community, and I want to make sure to shine that light all over so people can know how to be the great individual just like you. The best version of themselves. That's what you're showing them how to do by being the best DJ Chase you are.
That's it. That's one of the things I should have said that in the interview too. A lot of artists, be yourself, man. Don't be nobody else. Don't look on Instagram and envy. It's just envious. Don't do that. Like, don't pick up that habit. Be yourself. Don't chase Drake. Don't chase Rihanna. Beyonce is not thinking about you. Jay-Z is sitting on his golden throne. He's not thinking about you. So focus. Be the best you. Be the best who you want to be. If you wake up today, you say, I want to make a song about cats. Make a song about cats. Be the best cat song maker you could be. Don't worry about nobody else.
Right. Own you. You. Definitely. Mm-hmm. This Journey Project podcast. Thank you again, DJ Chase. Have a great day. Okay, I appreciate you, sir.
Copy.
All right, y'all. That was our interview with DJ Chase. I appreciate you staying tuned into the Journey Project podcast. So, remember, I told y'all that I would give away a free interview if you could guess the Love and Hip Hop Miami cast member that I interviewed was. Want a little hint? Sure? All right, come closer. A little closer. All right, so the Love and Hip Hop Miami cast member that I interviewed, they are an international recording artist, and they've sang live with Romeo Santos. All right? Don't tell nobody, all right? See y'all later. Make sure y'all subscribe and make sure y'all tune into the Journey Project podcast Friday.